The return of Benny. I hadn't thought about Benny in years. Growing up, he'd been my imaginary friend, always there to play games, share secrets, and protect me from the monsters under the bed. He was taller than me, with a mop of wild, dark hair and sharp green eyes that seemed to glow when he smiled. Benny was my best friend, until he wasn't. I outgrew him, as kids do. One day, I stopped talking to him, stopped setting a place for him at the dinner table, stopped waiting for him to tuck me in at night. My mom said it was a sign I was maturing. I never told her that Benny didn't take it well. He had begged me not to leave him. "You're my only friend," he'd said, his glowing eyes dim with hurt. "Don't forget me, okay?" I promised I wouldn't, but I did. Years later, sitting in my quiet apartment, Benny was the furthest thing from my mind, until I saw him. It started as a flicker of movement in the corner of my eye. I was scrolling through emails late one night when I caught it, a shadow slipping across the room. I turned, expecting to see nothing, but there he was, sitting on the arm of my sofa exactly as I remembered him. Same wild hair, same glowing green eyes. Except now, his smile was sharper. "Hello, Sophie," he said, his voice smooth and familiar. I froze, my heart hammering. "Benny? You remember?" He tilted his head, his grin widening. "I was starting to think you'd forgotten me." My throat was dry. How are you here? "You're not real." His smile faltered. "Not real? That's rich, coming from someone who made me." "This isn't possible," I stammered, backing away. Benny slid off the sofa, his movements fluid and predatory. "Oh, it's very possible. You forgot, Sophie, but I didn't. Do you have any idea what it's like to be abandoned, to sit in the dark, waiting, hoping you'd come back?" "I didn't mean to," I whispered. "I was a kid. I grew up and left me behind." His voice was cold now, the warmth of childhood memories replaced by something darker. "But I'm back, Sophie, and it's time for payback." "Payback?" I repeated, my voice trembling. He stepped closer, his green eyes glowing brighter. "You made me. You gave me life. And then you tossed me aside like a broken toy. Do you know how that feels?" "I didn't know you were real!" I shouted, tears springing to my eyes. "Real enough to hurt," Benny said softly. The room seemed to darken, the air growing heavy. Objects shifted in the shadows, books falling off shelves, picture frames tilting askew. "What do you want?" I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. "To matter," he replied. "You owe me that. You owe me everything." He moved closer, his face inches from mine. For a moment, I saw the boy I used to know, the friend who'd protected me from my nightmares. "Please," I said, tears streaming down my face. "I'm sorry. I didn't mean to abandon you." Benny tilted his head, considering my words. Then he smiled again, a hint of the old Benny breaking through. "Maybe I'll forgive you," he said, his voice softening, "but only if you prove you care." "How?" "Let me stay," he said simply. "Let me be part of your life again. Don't shut me out this time." I nodded, desperate to keep him calm. "Okay, you can stay." For the first time, his grin felt genuine. "Good. We're going to have so much fun, Sophie." As he faded back into the shadows, the air in the room lightened and the objects settled, but I knew he wasn't gone. Benny was back, and he wasn't going anywhere.